Welcome to Becoming a Cook. I'm Charlie Wetzel. Today I want to talk to you about a piece of equipment. Many years ago, Susie and Con and Doherty, our in-laws, who you met if you watched the Pizza Night video, gave me a wonderful gift, and it was an immersion blender. I didn't even know I needed or wanted an immersion blender until I got it. I guess I should explain what this is. If you took a liquid and wanted to pour it into a blender to mix it up, make it smooth, that's a blender. An immersion blender, you're taking that blending process to the pot that you're cooking in. So this is like the blade of a blender, but it goes in the pot. Well, I was doing a soup about 2 weeks ago, and I was rushing, and I dropped my immersion blender and broke it. So I started looking for another one. When I look for a piece of kitchen equipment, I usually check Consumer Reports and I check Amazon. Consumer Reports gives you pretty good information, but Amazon gives you the view from in the trenches for people who've used the item. You have to take them with a grain of salt. The first thing I look for is a lot of reviews. If there are like 1,000 reviews or 2,000 reviews, that's a good sign. If there are like 12 reviews, not so much. The second thing I look for is the percentage that are 5-star. I want to see a high percentage. Not all of them, but just most of them, like say 75% or more. But I typically read some of the 5 stars, but I always read the 1 stars and the 2 stars because that's where you find the problems. In the case of immersion blenders, the top 2 that were rated on Consumer Reports, which I was going to buy one of, on Amazon, the users said that liquid got sucked up this shaft and stayed in there, which is really unsafe and kind of nasty. So instead of getting one of those, I've bought the KitchenAid, and my old one that Susie and Connie gave me had lots of cool accessories. This one is limited, but I don't need the mini food processor. I certainly don't need the beater. I just need an immersion blender. So let's take a look. This is my new device, and let's take a look at this. This looks to me like it's well sealed, and I'm not going to have to worry about it drawing liquid up it. So there's the immersion blender. This is a container, I believe, like a little beaker or something that you could mix things in. I don't know that I need that either. And then there's a small device here that fits on the bottom of this, supposedly to protect the pan. Now, that makes me a little bit worried because why should I have to protect my pan? Why should I need this? I'm hoping that this is just for people who use nonstick, which I don't use except for when I'm cooking eggs. Here's the immersion blender. I'm going to go ahead and cook something tonight, and I'll try it out and show you, and we'll see how it works. I've been cooking a medium curry sauce, which needs to be pureed. One of the challenges that can happen with this, I've got a fairly wide pot, so this isn't very deep, so I'll have to maybe do a little trickery with it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a puddle. If I'd done this in a smaller pot, this would work a little bit better. So far, I don't think this is doing quite as well as my old one, but I think it's doing okay. Here's the verdict. I would say this does an adequate job. The one that I bought, has multiple speeds, but the reality is, on my old one, I never changed the speed even once in the, 10 years or maybe it was 15 years I used it. This looks like it's not going to draw any sauce up in here. It looks like it's got a pretty good seal. It's not as fast as my old one, and I always like them to go fast because I'm always trying to get done quickly. Maybe there's a better one of these out there, but I think this is going to work for me, and we'll see how long it holds up. Thanks for joining us today.